Hi guys, welcome back again to the Agilist. As promised, I'm putting up a new video today, and today I'm going to speak about work experience in three different aspects. Initially, what is the benefit of work experience after completing your bachelor's when you're applying for some universities? Second point would be what are the advantages of having a work experience and then doing a master's, so for your studies. And third one would be for getting a job, how beneficial it is to get a work experience in these three aspects. I would be speaking about the same today. And also, I'm going to speak about some important ideas that I have, or that some of my personal experiences that I felt in the last 2 years, because I had a work experience working in Amazon Development Center in my country back in India as a customer service associate. I would be speaking also about how that developed some of my skills and how I try to channelize those in not only my application for the university but also in the studies, and also further when I am right now applying for different jobs here in Germany. Okay, so first important question from all the students who I speak with is, do we get a work experience before applying to any universities in Berlin or Germany? I would say, or I would recommend, yes, you should get a working experience, because that acts as an extra added advantage to your application. For example, consider you have done your bachelor's in engineering and you're applying to some university. There's the same another candidate who has scored maybe similar amount of grades or similar amount of marks in his final exam, or the final mark sheet or the certificate is almost looks similar, so that you have scored an A grade, he's also scored an A grade. So what is the distinguishing factor for the university to select you? Why I would say that here work experience is beneficial is because whenever you say bachelor's, it varies from country to country, but most of it is theoretical part. You give a lot of theory exams, and I don't know what amount of presentation or practical approaches are taken in bachelors in different countries. But for example, speaking in India, we have a lot of theory based work, so it is always essential for universities to see what is your practical approach, or how you are when it really comes to working on the field exactly, or maybe working in a company, or how are you when it comes to speaking with someone, how are you at communicating with someone, with dealing with someone tactically or analytically. For these reasons, there is only one answer to the universities, that can be your work experience. So that is going to give you an added advantage. If you don't have it, it's okay. It's not a must to have working experience to get admissions here in the universities. I have many friends who have also got admissions in very good universities without having a work experience too. So if you have really great grades, I mean great like I'm speaking all A grades throughout your bachelor's, you have not flunked any subjects, you don't have any year downs, so, and you were the topper kind of maybe in the first good 10 or 15 students, then you might get away with this thing. But if not, if say I was a very average student, I was not a topper in my bachelor's, so I wanted to add an extra thing to my profile, or an extra edge to my profile, which puts me into a different basket than other students who apply to different universities. So that is how I used my experience as a customer service associate working with Amazon, which, while it was even essential for me, proved beneficial for me when I wrote my motivation letter, because in that letter I could write that I have very good communication skills. I can speak with different people on phone, I can communicate very good via emails. This also shows that I have good skills when it comes to writing formal emails. This is very important in country like Germany, because they give a lot of leverage, a lot of weightage to formal things, how you are good at official things. So I think that was also a benefit for me. And also speaking otherwise, because I work for a company which is one of the top e-commerce companies in the entire world, you get looked at in a very different way. There is a different approach when people speak with you, when they know that you have worked for such a high level company. at some good position, and this is definitely going to help you. I can give a very good example of how work experience comes handy even when you are studying and giving your exams in these 2 years of your masters maybe. So for me, what I used to do is, as far as I have seen the exams here, they are all I mean, the questions are mostly case study based questions. So for example, I can say that I did my masters in industrial engineering management. We had project management as a subject itself, and in the exam of project management we were asked some questions which you could only answer if you have a practical approach or a practical experience of. So for example, how can you deal with a very critical situation when you don't have most number of team members present on a day? I cannot answer this if I have not worked in any company with some of my team members being absent that day, and I have done some the critical work on that particular day. So it was always easy for me to answer this question or maybe such kind of questions, because I just used to go I just did go into my past when I used to work, and I just thought, have I experienced this thing when I was working with this company? Was there a day when I saw some such an scenario? And this is ought to happen, guys. If you work for a company for 1 year, you'll definitely go through not one but many such situations which can be handy while giving an answer to someone. This is also important because it gives you a sense of confidence. If you are working in a company and you have given some presentations in a company, which I hope you have to in a very good position, or in a position which you are working for in that company, then you get that inner confidence when you go in your masters and give presentations, because here you don't have many theory exams. It can be 60-40. So if you have 40% theory exams, you also have 60% presentations. So there's a balance between theory and practical exams. It's not like you have everything theory or everything practical. So when I'm giving a presentation, if I have done this like 1 year before, or maybe some months before, in front of 10 people who were senior to me and were elder to me, it's easy for me to give this kind of a presentation in front of my fellow students who are maybe of my age. So, that gives you a sense of confidence when you give these kind of presentations. That's how the work experience helped me during my study days also. Now, I would be speaking about the biggest advantage that I felt because I had my work experience, guys. So I did a lot of jobs here as a student, and when you go for student job interviews, you get distinguished on your experiences, and you can only give one-to-one answers to a person based on your experiences if you have already done something in your past or worked with a company or in such a scenario. Because when you go for interviews, when I went for my interview as a student, half of the questions asked by the HR department or the HR lady, which are human resource people who generally try to check your personality and not your technical skills, ask you about your experiences. So a lot of case studies again, like how would you handle such situation? Have you ever had a pressure based work to do in your past? Or what do you rate as a good manager? Okay, I can just give fake answers to my friends, but when I'm in an interview, I'll have to speak something which is really apt to this position, and I can only do that if I have an experience. Same thing about the final job as well. Yes, then you will be having a 2 years of experience over here as a student, so you can always speak about that working experience. But for example, if you're a student coming from some other country in Germany, they also want to check how you worked in your country itself. Or if you come from a country with a major number of employees in your company, and then you come to a company maybe in Europe, which obviously will be having less number of employees, then it is easy for them to understand that you can work in an environment where there are more number of people in a team. So, because teamwork is also really important factor for them. So this also tells that you're a team player, for example. So these are the all small and nitty gritty things that will definitely help you if you have a work experience, and then approach every single thing here. And I can guarantee you guys, there's a sense of maturity when you have a professional working experience and it shows off. People can just look at you, the way you talk, the way you sit, the way you carry yourselves. It is shown off if you have had a professional working experience somewhere. So it will definitely help you. So go ahead, don't rush and try to make right away applications after your bachelor's. I would suggest you guys to take a little bit working experience. This will also give you time to make good applications to some universities. Also maybe improve your German in that case. So what are you waiting for? Just go ahead. If you have done your bachelor's, try to get a good working experience. Please remember that take an working experience which you will make use of in making your application. So don't just work somewhere for getting a working experience. Do something which you really want to pursue in your future, and don't just try to work for the sake of working or for just getting 1 year's working experience certificate in your profile. Hope you get what I'm speaking about. Great. So that was the video for today. I'll see you next week. I hope you're liking, sharing, and subscribing my videos as and when possible. I'll see you next Sunday. Please try to hit the bell icon. Bye bye, guys. Chase your dreams.